Hello everybody, this is ASMR, and tonight I am coming at you with a video that incorporates some pointing and colors and charts, but it also includes a lot of silliness. So if you're looking for a traditional color test or eye chart, definitely check back in my channel because I have a bunch of them. But this one's going to be a little more on the strange, silly side. So, I wanted to share with you this game. So this game is from Color Forms, and it's called Silly Faces Game. It's for 2 to 6 players, 3 plus, and it's a race to make the silliest face. So you get this wheel, and you've got a spinner. You've got to try to make a silly face based on what the spinner says, and you can make all these bizarre-looking characters. See? So I thought what we could do, just for fun, is to check out the game. We probably won't play it, but I just want to check it out because some of these characters are just so different. I love that about them. I love the fact that they're really odd and unique and something that you just really would not see every day. So first thing I'm going to do is point out some things on the box. So we have these little characters here are all holding up the banner, and we have the primary guy. This is apparently based on a TV show called Charlie's Color Farm City on Netflix. I don't actually watch the show. I do not have children, but I received this item to review because in my job I'm a journalist, and believe it or not, I cover toys and games all year round, not just at Christmas. So I actually do review a lot of toys and games all year long, and this is brand new, and they sent me a review copy. So that's how I got my hands on it. And then I thought that it would also make a really great ASMR video, just because of the colors. So let's just focus on the scene here. So this is the main guy. He's also represented on the spinner. And then him and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 other characters are holding up the signs that say Silly Faces Game. And then you have this absolutely bizarre looking character right here. This reminds me a little bit of the old Let's Make a Deal episodes, where people would get so excited about winning prizes that they would just go completely gaga on television. So if you focus on this character, what color is this character primarily? The face and the arms. Yeah, it's like a purple or pink. I'll accept either answer. It's like a purplish pink. And can you see what part of the body these are? The ears. And what color are they? Yes. And can you see what I'm pointing to here? It's a character's hat. Yep. And what color is this? Purple. And what color t-shirt is he wearing? Yellow. Yes. So now let's lift the box up. A lot of these characters also appear elsewhere, like on the box, so we'll focus on them more on the box. But let's lift the box up, and we'll take a look at some of these other characters. So look at this character. Now, how would you describe him? Well, I would describe him as he has a green face and a purple beard, purple ears, and orange eyelids, and red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple hair. And he looks really spaced out. I mean, he looks like he just got back from Woodstock. Yeah, I mean, in fact, most of the characters in this game look like something that you would see at Woodstock, you know. And then look at this guy next to him. He looks like a cowboy. He's orange with a green ear and a blue nose and glasses and this yellow cowboy hat. And he's looking over at him in complete horror. So maybe he just disapproves of like his laid back kind of attitude, or maybe because he's so out of it, he's just running his mouth off and saying things that are completely inappropriate, and he is just absolutely astonished by this. But next to him is this little green character with a pinkish, purplish eye, and he's winking, and he's got a blue nose and a red tongue and little tooth, which makes it look like he's young, but maybe he's not that young. Maybe he's just kind of like one of those people that never grows up. And there he is. He's got brown hair, and he's got this little, I guess called a beanie hat with a spinner on the top, and it's red, yellow, and blue. And he is laughing. So you can interpret this several ways. Perhaps he is laughing at his horror, or maybe he's laughing because he feels that something he said was legitimately funny, or perhaps he's a complete instigator and he instigated this one to say something, and then even instigated this one to come over just to get outraged. So it could be something very scandalous like that. You just don't know, because sometimes when they look really innocent, you can't trust them. So to continue with the story, let's look over at these three ladies. So we have this girl who is blue and has a black eye patch, and she's got red hair and a little like reddish brown bow in her hair. And then we have this one who's an artist, and she looks completely loopy. Maybe she mixed medication, maybe she was also at Woodstock. I mean, maybe she is his wife. I mean, it could happen, because they find each other, And then this is an older looking woman. Somehow she seems older. She's orange, and she's got purple hair, and she's wearing 3D glasses, and she looks really annoyed. So what I'm thinking happened here is that this one is a zany, crazy artist. He's got crazy eyes. Purple one with the green hair and the little red, what do you call that? Barrette. And she's got these crazy eyes, and her lipstick matches her barrette. So she's fat, and even her hair, 1, 2, 3 hair bands match the barrette, match her lipstick. So she's fashionable. She's just nuts. And so like here she is, and like she looks a little spaced out. And then this lady here looks really annoyed, right? And she has those 3D glasses on. So what probably happened is that this one is probably an artist, and she probably created an experimental film that was absolutely scandalous. And when she went to show it to this lady, this unsuspecting victim who walked into her gallery, and she put the glasses on and started watching the film because it was all in 3D, and she was absolutely annoyed by what she saw, because as far as she was concerned, it was just complete smut. And meanwhile, this one is the assistant of the crazy artist, and see the eyes, she's also a little bit spaced out. She might be a little bit simple, because you see when her eye got hurt, that could be as a result of maybe she hit her head or something, and so she's a little spaced out. So she just blindly follows whatever the artist says and just agrees with it and doesn't really get it and thinks it's fine. So even though she's personal assistant that should be keeping the artist in line, she clearly doesn't care that the reviewer is not very pleased with the media. Or maybe the media the artist is presenting is supposed to be controversial, and perhaps this is the reaction they're supposed to elicit, and thus she is satisfied knowing that the artist achieved her goal. Who knows? I mean, it could happen. Remember, they look like innocent little kids' characters, but you just never know. So then if we come back here, I mean, look at this. I mean, if this doesn't scream Woodstock, I don't know what does. I mean, I think this whole thing is just like a giant metaphor for what you might see when you partake in certain subcultures. So here we have this guy, and he is purple with blue hair, and he's got a crazy rainbow hat on. He's got red, orange, yellow, green, and blue, and he's got these fabulous star sunglasses, and he is listening to music, and he doesn't look particularly upset by the music or happy about it. He looks just kind of, interested, kind of just, cool. And then this guy looks just like his brother, because look, they have this almost the same color hair. This one has darker hair, this one has lighter hair. He's got cool heart sunglasses. They both have a yellow nose. He's purple, he's green, but they do look really similar. And he's got flowers on his hat, so he also has a fabulous hat. And he looks kind of cool and mellow as well, which is awesome. But this guy in the middle of them, I mean, he doesn't look cool or awesome at all. I mean, he looks really unhappy. You know, he's this orange guy, he's got a yellow nose, and he's frowning. And his really cute yellow ears are wearing two fabulous pearls. But he doesn't look very happy with his pearls because I'm thinking that he really wanted the earphones, and they're just not sharing them. You know, he probably took them, then he took them, then he took them, and they're just not sharing. And also, they both have these really fabulous hippie hats, and he has this hat that he probably thinks is kind of and childlike, and he's not very pleased with it. And so he's just sitting there, and he's just gonna pout in the corner, and that's what happened, you know. Now, if you come over here, this is a strange scene. So this one here looks like the wife of one of these two. In fact, see the way that she's green as well? And she's also wearing a magician's hat, kind of a fabulous hat. She's got brown hair and the cool star sunglasses and a cute little blue nose and a blue ear. And these are really pretty earrings. Do you see them? They're red and yellow. I think those earrings are really cool. And she looks really kind of distressed. So maybe she is the wife of this guy. She's the brother, maybe she may be the sister of this guy and the wife of this guy. So these two may very well be brother-in-laws, not brothers. And she looks kind of outraged. So maybe she is outraged that her husband, is hogging the earphones and not giving them to her husband. And of course, or her brother rather. Her husband's hogging the earphones, not giving to her brother. And he's just being completely ignored. I mean, I don't think she really cares one way or another, you know, what he thinks of the situation. But yeah, that might be why she's looking over here in utter shock. And these two, meanwhile, are just sitting there and they are just giggling at her. Now, these two look like trouble. So essentially, as you can see, this one is blue, this one is purple. They both have these beautiful girly eyelashes. They both have, well, this one has really fabulous hair and a cute little party hat. This one is bald, but it's got such an awesome witch hat that, I mean, who really cares? She looks great bald. And she's got these cute little gnome green ears and a cute little blue nose. And this one has a cute little pink ear and a cute little red nose and a purple beard, though. So these two look so strange that the only conclusion we can come to is that these two are probably a completely different species from all the others. I bet these two are like fairies or gnomes that lived in the forest and saw, you know, like there was some sort of like crazy gathering of all these eccentric people. Like, as I said, it could be Woodstock or the Burning Man Festival or whatever. And these two were just so fascinated by what they saw that they decided that they were going to get dressed up to make themselves look human. So that's why, like, they stuck on the crazy hat and the beard and just kind of went out to check out what was going on. And they just find her distress about this whole situation very, very amusing because they just think that humans are very, very silly. So, yeah, so they're basically gnomes or mythical creatures in disguise. That would be my guess with these two. But they both look really fabulous. And then over here, we have another scene. Now, this one looks like the same character as over here. So maybe it's his twin brother? Or considering, look at the ears with the same fabulous earrings. It might be the same guy on a different day. I mean, this guy probably just has no luck at all. On one hand, he's over there pouting. On this hand, he just looks really angry or horrified. Now, the one thing is that instead of wearing the hat that he had on before, he's now wearing this little scarf on his hat. I can't think of the name for these. But, I mean, I have to say, it does look more stylish than the other hat did. It's red with white polka dots. But he doesn't look too pleased with it. So his companions this time are this blue guy with green eyes and a green nose and a purple ear and a red beret. And he is laughing hysterically at something. I mean, something has him laughing so hard he just can't handle it anymore. And then over to the side we have this blue lady with green hair and you 3 red hair clips and a fabulous golden crown with red rubies. She's got an orange nose, and she looks very mischievous, doesn't she? So I think that she probably just said something really inappropriate. Maybe she cracked a really inappropriate joke, and he just thought it was absolutely hilarious and started laughing, but he's horrified. Because maybe in this situation, she is the princess, and this is her brother, her little brother, and he's kind of eccentric, and he wants to be an artist because he just thinks that being a princess is so boring. And then this poor soul here was just hired to be their nanny, and he has absolutely no idea what he's doing, and he's so afraid that somebody's going to hear her making these inappropriate jokes, and he really can't stop her from making. And then this one's laughing, and it's basically, corrupting his mind, and he has no control over it, and he just doesn't know what to do. So that might be why he looks so horrified, and he's laughing and she's smiling, I would guess. And then the last ones on the cover over here are this green guy who is with red ears and a blue nose and a purple hat, and he is laughing hysterically. And then we have this poor little purple guy in the center with a yellow nose and a red frowny face and a purple ear and a fabulous head of hair. It's red, orange, yellow, green, blue, and purple. And then beside them is this green character with brown hair who is wearing headphones that are blue and yellow and purple. Got a pink nose. He's got a red face that's kind of scrunched up, so he looks very unsure, not outright horrified, but not really happy or sad either. Just kind of shocked, kind of alarmed. So who knows? Perhaps he is listening to a comedy recording by her, and it is just so off color that he just cannot believe what he's hearing. So that could be what's going on there. And meanwhile, in this scenario, I think what happened here is that this guy is in training to be a barber, but he completely failed in barber school and then decided to go ahead and become a clown that specializes in practical jokes. Unfortunately for him, this guy thought that this one was still a barber and went to him to get his hair dyed because a couple of gray hairs were coming in and he wasn't crazy about that. And this guy is a really dignified businessman, really dignified stockbroker. And as a joke, this guy made his hair go completely like clown rainbow colored. And he is not happy about this at all because he has a board meeting in the morning and he doesn't know what he is going to do and how he's going to explain his hair. So he's looking at this guy and he's really annoyed, but this guy he's annoyed and unhappy, and this guy just thinks it's so funny. So I think that he is probably going to sue him. That would be my next guess. And this one's just kind of standing next to them, but really is not involved in this whole exchange here. I mean, like, just doesn't really know what's happening one way or another. So that's what we see on the box. So as we can see, there's a lot more to these characters than meets the eye, if you're willing to get a little silly. So, putting this aside, we can now go to the game board itself. And it says silly faces, and you have these characters holding the sign. And look, here's the artist. Remember the artist we talked about on the other board? The crazy artist. And there is her assistant, and her assistant is holding up the sign as she kind of just sort of spazzes out. And then here's the guy in the cowboy hat, and he was also viewed in the beginning on the other box, and he was the guy that looked kind of horrified by something that the hippie might have been saying or doing. But here he looks much happier. He looks like he has a great time with the assistant to the artist. I mean, perhaps they're friends and they really get along. But they're holding up the sign. And if we put this down, we see this is how the game is played. So in another video that's not quite as silly, I might show you exactly how this game is played. For this one, I'm just being ridiculously silly. But basically what you do is you take this little guy and you spin him, and then whatever he lands on, you have to find. So if he lands on here, you have to give your character a hat. If he lands here, you have to give your character eyes. If he lands here, you have to give your character a nose and a mouth. If he lands here, you have to give your character's ears. And if he lands here, you have to give your character's hair. If he lands Here you have to unstick something, and if you land here, you have to swap something. And the way that works is that you're given little templates, and then you're given little options to how to dress up your character and make any array, any kind that you want. Some of these or different ones, whichever. So on this board we have green, and green equals eyes. We have purple, and purple equals hats. We have orange, and orange equals nose and mouth. We have yellow, and yellow equals ears. We have pink. It might look kind of purple on camera, but it's not. It's pink, and pink equals hair. And then we have dark blue, and that equals on sticking something. And then we have light blue, and that equals sticking something. Okay? So, moving aside, because I will probably show this game off another night, because it's a game for children, like small children, but it's actually really relaxing to play. Like even solitary, so I will make another video about that. But for now, let's go back to figuring out what each and every one of these characters is up to, because they look innocent, but they're not at all. So if we come over here, we see this character. Now she's blue, and she's got purple hair and a little black top hat and a purple nose, and she's got green pants and a yellow shirt, and she looks very unsure of what's going on. I mean, I think that she's probably had bad experiences with the Ditzy assistant before and knows that she is well capable of completely dropping this banner and causing chaos. I mean, for all we know, she has bought art from this artist and just knows what it's like to deal with this one, and it's just not cool about it. And do you see how unsure she looks? And she is so busy staring at the artist suspiciously that she doesn't see this little guy creeping up behind her. So he's orange with blue hair and a green hat and fabulous hard sunglasses, and he's got a red ear, and he's wearing a purple suit with a little yellow bow tie. He's got a purple nose, and he's got buck teeth, and look at the way he's looking at her so obsessively. I mean, he follows her around everywhere. He's madly in love with her. She wants nothing to do with him, of course. I mean, she's completely indifferent to him, but he's crazy about her, and she's so distracted that she doesn't even see him just looking at her. So this is like an ongoing thing with him, like just following her everywhere. He's completely devoted, you know. And then over here we have this character, and this character is pink with purple hair. She's wearing a fabulous cowboy hat, and look, it looks like she's wearing a swimsuit that's yellow and blue with orange accents, and she's wearing a snorkeling kit, and she's looking over at this crazy one. Now, this was on the box before. This is the one that we think was disguising itself as a human, or, you know, whatever species these little guys are, when it was actually a mythical creature in disguise. And she looks like she's so enjoying this. I mean, considering that this is snorkeling gear, which is meant to be used under the water and not on land, perhaps this one and this one are together. Like perhaps this one is in all actuality. Where is she? This one could very well be this one. See? She just changed. So she changed out of the hat and she went into snorkeling gear, and this one just thinks it's absolutely hysterical because no one has yet realized that they are, in fact, not supposed to be there. And then next to them we have this girl, and she is listening to something on earphones. She's orange, she's wearing purple, she's got green hair, and she is laughing hysterically. And so is this little guy, and this guy looks like the little guy that was with the princess before, and he's also laughing hysterically. So is this guy here, who we identified as the crazy barber before, didn't we? So he's also listening and laughing at something. So I bet what happened here is that he started coming over to these two and telling really off-color jokes, and they both thought it was so funny. And then he said, you know, if you like off-color jokes, you should listen to my sister. So he gave her earphones to listen to his sister's comedy album, and she's laughing hysterically at that. And then they're all just having a big laugh about that. And then beside them is this little guy with the hat and the glasses. And this is the guy we saw before, the guy who we thought was not sharing this with his brother-in-law. Well, he's just kind of looking over at them, wondering, what are they listening to? What are they laughing at? Because he's probably just listening to music or something and doesn't realize how funny it is. And this guy is just standing there, the babysitter, just ready to completely blow his top. I mean, he looks like he's ready just to flip out completely and go and join, you know, a pirate ship somewhere just to get away from all of this craziness. Oh no, and then this one is actually different from this one. So maybe she's a third friend that they invited, because she is still dressed up in her hat and she is laughing at his distress. So obviously, you know, this is greatly amusing to them. And then here is the same character that looks just completely shocked. I bet you he's listening to the same record as this one, but whereas this one finds it funny, he's shocked and doesn't find it that funny because he's a censor, and to censors this is just not funny. It's shocking. And then we have this guy who's purple with yellow ears, and he's got a red, orange, yellow, green, and blue top hat, and he looks completely spaced out. I mean, completely out to lunch, but, you know, happy and mellow. So there you go. And then over here, look at this. This is a blue girl with yellow hair and a cute yellow top and yellow and green pants that match her green nose. She's got glasses on, and this cat orange and pink cat ear, and she is just drooling all over him. I mean, look at this. She is absolutely crazy about him. She thinks he is just like the most profound, awesome person. And it's really strange because this one, she's a crazy cat lady. She has like 400 cats, and I completely sympathize with that, trust me. But like, she just takes it too far. Like, she's a completely crazy cat lady, and she never stops talking. She is such a chatterbird. She would drive anybody crazy. And he is just so mellow, and he only says like 2 words, and she just finds that so unbelievably hot. So she just chases him all around the board. I mean, seriously, she, in a lot of ways, is even worse than this dude, because whereas this dude is just kind of like a stalk, like kind of a creeper, this one is like very direct and like completely adores him. Completely. And then here's the same old guy that we saw in the other portion of the video, and he still looks really unhappy and grumpy because he just can't get rid of this hat and he doesn't like it, and he wishes, you know, that he could just change his life altogether. But standing right next to him is the princess who likes to tell the off-color jokes. So perhaps you will tell him an off-color joke and that will actually make him smile. That would be a nice ending. And here is the poor businessman who had the very bad hair day because of the crazy barber. And it looks like he has just given up and has just embraced his new look of a clown. You know, he's wearing these really bright clothes. He's wearing a yellow and orange red striped shirt and blue jeans. So maybe he's just gonna go more casual. Maybe he's gonna give the circus a try. I mean, you know, he get tired of boardrooms after a while. So maybe this is not such a bad thing for him. You know, maybe it could be he doesn't look very happy right now, but who knows? Maybe he'll end up enjoying it. Oh, and here is the other guy who still doesn't have the earphones because this gentleman here is still hogging them. But he doesn't look that concerned. And you know what? Perhaps he is initiating the businessman into the lifestyle of the cool dudes. Or in this case, you know, a clown. But, I mean, hey, being a clown is probably cooler than being, you know, an uptight businessman, right? So he's probably just gonna like help him like just embrace the whole like colorful crazy world. And here is the little kid who is laughing hysterically, and he's just having a fantastic time, just laughing at all the craziness going on all around him. And then again, we are at the end of the board. And one thing that I realized as I was doing this is that we actually did not cover all the boxes. We had 6 characters escape us. So here we did have the scuba diving character and this girl who looks really unsure of the whole situation. So she's probably just unsure of her surroundings altogether. And this is the scuba diving one who's probably friends with the one in the witch's hat and the one with the purple beard who are just like disguising themselves so they can get into this awesome party. Here's the girl that's laughing hysterically, probably listening to the princess's off-color comedy comments. And here's the really mellow dude with the cat girl chasing after him. You know, this is just an ongoing thing. And even though he looks kind of indifferent, deep down he really sort of likes it. And then here is a little guy with the glasses, and he is hiding back here because he's actually checking her out, but he has to do it from a distance because of the restraining order. So, yep, so that is the situation. That is the box completely done. That's all the characters are going to show. So, overall, we have analyzed, because all the characters that are on the cover also appear here. So, overall, we have analyzed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20 characters, 21. We have analyzed them all. And of course, as we play the game, we can always make up more characters. But that is what I think was going on with each and every one of these characters. And just remember, no matter how innocent it looks, you know, you just never know what they're thinking. So, I hope you enjoyed that video, even though it was incredibly, incredibly silly. I mean, I don't know. Just sometimes it's nice to let loose and just make up crazy, ridiculous stories, you know? But I hope you enjoyed it. Please let me know if you do like these silly style videos or if they're just kind of annoying. I will definitely show you the game, like properly, like not, you know, goofing off or anything, in a future video, because it is really relaxing. But let me know if you want me to include any, like, silly commentaries or, like, character studies in that video, or if you just want me to keep it, like, more relaxed, ASMR, professional. So anyway, thank you for watching. I hope this amused you a little bit, and maybe even relaxed you. And check back to my channel soon for more traditional type of eye exam videos, and also for a proper showing off of that little game, which is really cute. So thank you for watching. Good night.